So dear cadets, study I taught you coagulation. So just try to understand what is the meaning of coagulation. Precipitation of colloidal particle by the addition of excess amount of electrolyte. So who is causing the coagulation? Electrolyte. And then electrolyte is made up of two types of ion. How many types of ion? Two types. Positively charged ions and negatively charged ions. So just try to understand. Any electrolyte, a positively charged ions held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. And their both ions are capable of causing the coagulation. Are you getting my point or not? Both ions are capable of causing the coagulation. But try to understand. Positively charged part can coagulate the negatively charged salt, and a negatively charged ion can cause the coagulation of positively charged salt. So what is the meaning of this one? A positively charged ions. A positively charged ions means the ion carrying the opposite charge to that of given salt are capable of causing the coagulation. Once again listen. Ions carrying charge opposite to that of given colloidal particle or salt is capable of causing the coagulation. Okay. So the ions carrying opposite charge to given salt are capable of causing the coagulation. Okay. So regarding this one, means coagulating power of ions, Hardy-Schulze came with one rule, and that rule is known as Hardy-Schulze rule. So about what they have given this rule, it governs the coagulating capacity of an electrolyte. Means Hardy-Schulze rule tells about the capability of electrolytic ion for causing the coagulation. Coagulation means, what is the meaning of coagulation? Coagulation means precipitation of colloidal particle by the addition of excess amount of electrolyte. So causing means who is causing the coagulation? Electrolytic ion. Electrolytic compound carrying ions. Of course, electrolytic compounds contains ions, but both ions, they will coagulate the different kinds of salt. So just see second one, coagulating power. Coagulation is also known as flocculation. So coagulating power or flocculating power depends upon the valency of active ion. Now what is the meaning of here active ion? Ions which is causing the coagulation, that is active ion. Just try to understand here the meaning of active ion. Suppose this is NaCl. So here how many ions are there? Na positive ion plus Cl negative ion. So Na positive ion, this is carrying positive charge. It can coagulate negatively charged salt. So for negatively charged salt, this is the active ion. What about this one? This is negatively charged ion. Can cause coagulation or can coagulate. Simply write can coagulate positively charged salt. So try to understand. This is active ion for positively charged salt, and sodium positive is active ion for negatively charged salt. For almost everywhere, just see KCl. Here what is there? K positive plus Cl negative is there. So this positively charged ion, that is potassium ion, can coagulate negatively charged salt. What about this Cl negative? This Cl negative can coagulate So this is the meaning of active ion. So coagulating power or flocculating power depends upon the valency of active ion. Ions causing coagulation of salt. Here I wrote ions causing coagulation of salt. What is the next one? Ions carrying opposite charge to that of colloidal particle cause coagulation. So here further clarification is given. Ions carrying opposite charge to that of colloidal particle cause coagulation. Actually, the Hardy's rule is the last point only. The coagulating power of an electrolyte is directly proportional to the valency of active ion. Means greater the valency of active ion, greater will be the coagulation, or greater will be the coagulating power. Okay, this is only there. But remember, ions must carry the charge opposite to that of given salt. Opposite to that of given salt. That is the important point. So if we sum here entire Hardy's rule, so what we can say? Number one point is Hardy's rules governs the capacity, coagulating capacity of an electrolyte. Hardy's rules governs the coagulating capacity of an electrolyte. And electrolyte must contain ion. They must contain ion. Second one is coagulating or flocculating power depends upon the valency of active ion. And the meaning of active ion I taught you. Ions which can cause the coagulation, that is known as active ion. And ions which carry the opposite charge to that of given colloidal salt can cause the coagulation. So the ions carrying opposite charge to that of colloidal particle cause coagulation. And coagulating power of an electrolyte is directly proportional to the valency of active ion. Valency of active ion. So this is entire statement is related with the Hardy-Schulze rule. Now the next one is, for the further clarification, we'll write some types of colloidal salt and types of ion who are capable of causing the coagulation. So dear cadets, now see the examples. To coagulate negatively charged salt, which are the active ions? Just see. To coagulate the negatively charged salt, positive ions should be the active ion. These are the active ions. Active ions. So just try to understand. What does the Hardy-Schulze rule say? Hardy-Schulze rule says that greater the valency of active ion, greater will be the coagulating power. So aluminium 3 positive, magnesium 2 positive, and sodium single positive. So just try to understand. Here aluminium has got the 3 positive charge. That is why what is there? Their coagulating power will be the highest, while sodium will be the least. To coagulate the positively charged salt, this is the example of positively charged salt. What is the coagulating power? Just see. This is FeCl6. This is coordination ion, coordination compound ion, 4 negative. Its coagulating power is the highest. Then 3 negative, 2 negative, and single negative. So in this way, Hardy-Schulze rules is over. Ultimately, what is the conclusion of Hardy-Schulze rules? Greater the valency of active ion, greater will be the coagulating power. Now next one is coagulation value or flocculation value. So this is coagulating power and that one is the coagulation value. So just see, what is the difference between coagulating power and coagulation value? Coagulation value. Try to understand. In coagulation value, we should consider the amount. What is their amount? Means if amount is minimum required. If minimum amount of electrolyte can cause maximum amount of coagulation. So what would be there? That would be the best coagulating power ion. So just see, means amount should be less and power should be more. Am I correct or not? So just try to understand coagulating power and coagulation value. Both are opposite thing. If value is more means amount required more and power is less, then what is there? That is not a good electrolyte for causing the coagulation. Let us have more idea about the coagulation value. So just see the headed here, coagulation value or flocculating value. So what is this one? What is the definition of this one? Coagulation value or flocculating value? It is the minimum concentration. It is the minimum concentration. Here the meaning of concentration is the amount. It is the minimum amount of an electrolyte in millimoles which is able to coagulate of a sol of 1 liter. Means the minimum concentration of an electrolyte in millimole which can cause the coagulation of 1 liter of sol. That is coagulation value or flocculating value. What is this one? It is the minimum amount of an electrolyte in millimole which can cause the coagulation of 1 liter of sol. So remember here, more the coagulating power, less will be the coagulation value. Means the electrolyte whose less concentration can cause the maximum coagulation. That is the better coagulating agent. And who are the better coagulating agent or better coagulating power ion which is having higher charge? So just see, I wrote here amount in millimole per liter. Just see, Br single negative, this is sulfate 2 negative, and this is FeCN6 4 negative. So just see, Br single negative, its amount required in millimole per liter is 138. This one is 0.210, and here 4 negative charge is there. This is 0.096, and these negatively charged ion can cause the coagulation of positively charged salt. Same thing is here. These are positively charged ions, single positive, double positive, triple positive. These are the active ions can cause the coagulation of negatively charged salt. So amount in millimole per liter is, this is 51. Here what is there? 0.68. Here 0.093. So which is the better? Means whose value is less, amount is less. That is the better coagulating agent, better coagulating power ion. So just see, in this case what is there? Aluminium, and in this case this one FeCN6 4 negative. They are the better coagulating agent. So what is the meaning of this one? Means the here more the coagulating power, less will be the coagulation value. Means lesser the coagulation value, more will be the coagulating power. So coagulating power and flocculating means coagulating power or flocculating power is opposite to the coagulation value or flocculation value. Both are same term. So greater the coagulating power, lesser amount will be required. So once again, it is the amount of an electrolyte in millimole which can cause the coagulation of 1 liter of salt. Means amount in millimole which can cause the coagulation of 1 liter of salt. That is their flocculation value or coagulation value. In this way, this is over. Now next one is protection of colloids. Protection of colloids. So now dear cadet, now protection of colloid. So generally for protecting the colloid, what is the meaning of protection of colloid? Protection of colloid means they should not precipitate. So many particles should not come close to each other. Okay, otherwise they will be precipitated. So the protecting the colloids not to be precipitated. Okay, that is the meaning of protection of colloids. So generally, how can we preventing the precipitation of colloids? By the addition by the addition of electrolytes. So what electrolytes are doing? Just see here. Electrolytes, first colloidal salt will absorb the common ion from the added electrolytes. So this layer, positively charged layer of absorb common ion. And now if excess amount of electrolyte you have added, so from the same electrolyte, a positively charged ion will be attracted toward this positively charged ion. So now both charged layer will be neutralized. The layer of attracted a positively charged ion which neutralizes the charge of adsorbed ion. So now in this way what would be there? What would be there? Now this colloidal particle will be neutral and two colloidal particles now will not come close to each other. So this is the original way of protecting the colloid to be precipitated. Means by the addition of electrolyte we did like that. Am I correct or not? But remember, some natural way is also there. Especially suppose lyophobic colloids are there. Lyophobic colloids are unstable. Very easily they get cold, means precipitated. Especially just see metallic salts, means silver salt, gold salt, platinum salt, they are easily precipitated. So there is natural way. Just see, there are some natural lyophilic colloids like albumin, gelatin. These are lyophilic colloids and they are natural protector of lyophobic colloids. So just see, the naturally occurring lyophilic colloids like albumin, gelatin are best protecting colloids because they protect the lyophobic colloids from precipitation by electrolytes. So just see, try to understand. Lyophobic colloids, they are very easily get precipitated. So to protect the lyophobic colloids to be precipitated, we are adding the lyophilic colloids. So lyophilic colloids, they will form the protecting layer. What is this one? This is the here you can write lyophilic colloids protective layer. They will form the protective layer over the lyophobic colloids and they will stop it to be precipitated. Okay. So now what is the definition of protection of colloid? Protection of colloid is it is the you can say protection of colloids means it is the capacity of a colloid to protect other colloid from the precipitation. Okay. So now in better way we can explain like that. It is the process of protecting the lyophobic colloids from precipitation by the previous addition of lyophilic colloids. Simple. It is the process of protection of lyophobic colloids from the electrolyte to be precipitated by the previous addition of lyophilic colloids. Means lyophilic colloids protect the lyophobic colloids from precipitation from the electrolyte. Who is causing the precipitation? Excess amount of addition of electrolyte. So here excess amount of, even if you will add the excess amount of electrolytes, then also what would be there? Precipitation will not be there. Just see here, this is when you are adding the excess amount. Now try to understand. Suppose you have not added the excess amount. Suppose you have added the small amount of electrolyte. Then this second layer will not be formed. This is the process when you are adding excess. Here you can write excess amount of electrolyte. Excess amount of electrolyte. But try to understand, when the amount is little bit, when a small amount is there, then this layer will not be there. Second layer, only one layer will be there. At that time, what would be there? Just try to understand. This layer only will be there. First layer, adsorbed ion layers, and at that time what should be there? So many particles may come close to each other and they will be precipitated. At that time, lyophilic colloids will do this work. Lyophilic colloids will do the work of second layer. So in this way, this is the role of lyophilic colloids. So dear cadets, here you can write the meaning of protection of colloids. It is written. It is the process of protecting the lyophilic colloids from the precipitation by electrolytes due to the previous addition of lyophilic colloids. So means before adding the electrolyte, earlier only you should add the lyophilic colloids to the lyophilic colloids. So they will be protected. Another thing is the gold number. What is that gold number? So gold number is one number by which we express the protecting power of colloids. Protecting power. Who is the protecting colloids? Lyophilic colloids are the protecting colloids. So the protecting power of different lyophilic colloids can be expressed in terms of gold number. So what is this one? What is the gold number? Gold number is nothing but a number, amount. It is the number or amount which is or by which we can express the protecting power of a lyophilic colloids. Actually, what is the definition of lyophilic colloids? Just try to understand. The minimum amount of protecting colloids in milligram. What is this one? Milligram. The minimum amount of protecting colloids in milligram required to just prevent the 10 milliliter of gold salt from the precipitation or coagulation by the addition of 1 milliliter of 10% NaCl solution. Okay, means what is there? You should take the 10 milliliter of gold salt. In that 10 milliliter of gold salt, you have to add the 1 milliliter of NaCl. 1 milliliter of 10% NaCl solution. If it is not coagulating, means what is there? That is only gold number. So the gold number is nothing but a amount in milligram of protecting colloids which prevent the precipitation of 10 milliliter of gold salt from 1 milliliter of 10% NaCl solution. Okay, suppose still you have not got. So now protection of colloids, I hope that you have written. I am rubbing this one and I am explaining. Just see. So just try to understand the minimum amount of protecting colloid. Just see. Suppose this is beaker, and here what you have taken? Here you have taken 10 milliliter of gold salt, Au salt. Okay, and now just see. Already you know that metallic salts are very easily precipitated. So to stop their precipitation, to stop their coagulation, here what you will add? You will add here NaCl. What is NaCl? This is electrolyte. How much? 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter of NaCl, 10% NaCl. Means this solution should be 10%. What is the meaning of 10%? Means 10 gram NaCl is there and 90 gram water is there. What is there? 90 gram water is there. So try to understand. If you add here, so what should be there? This is electrolyte. What does it cause? It causes the precipitation. Okay. So now what is the amount of protecting colloids which can prevent the coagulation of 10 milliliter of gold salt by the addition of 1 milliliter of 10% solution? NaCl. Means what amount of protecting colloid is required to protect the 10 millimeter of gold salt from the precipitation by the addition of 1 millimeter of NaCl, 10% NaCl solution. That is gold number. So remember, gold number is nothing but a amount of protecting colloid in milligrams. In milligrams. So dear parents, just see what we can say. Gold number is reciprocal of protecting power of colloids. Means lesser the gold number value, greater will be the protecting power. I can understand in this way also. Protecting power of colloids will be more if gold number is less. Inversely proportional relation is there. Means protecting power of colloids will be more if gold number is less. So just see here, I wrote the example: gelatin, casein, hemoglobin, starch, dextrin. Just see, out of all these amount, which is the least amount? Gelatin. So gelatin is the best protecting colloids, while the starch is the worst protecting colloids. In this way, today's discussion is over. Thank you.